Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back. Whether you're new here or returning, I do appreciate you being here with me to watch this video or listen to it as it were. Whatever you're doing, I do appreciate you taking the time out to join me on this journey. I have been on a weight loss journey or a health journey or something off and on throughout pretty much my entire life. I started using Zepbound in June of 2025. And so since then, it has been a consistent, ongoing, not lasting for a few weeks and then crashing out, or lasting for a few months and then burning out on it and screwing up. This has been the first, okay, it's been a year plus, and I'm consistently working hard. And if I have a bad day, I get back on the horse, you know. So I've been on that health, mental, and physical wellness, weight loss journey consistently now that I've been sticking with for a little over a year. Um, Now, in the pursuit of health, it's not just about the number on the scale, it's not just about my weight. It is also about my ability to exercise, even if that exercise is minimal. Now, if you follow me on TikTok or if you watched my last video, you will know that I have a pressure ulcer on the pad of my foot below the second biggest toe. I zoned out there for a second, but below the second biggest toe on the pad of my foot. And the pressure ulcer is not healing because of the disbursement of weight on my feet. I have hammer toes in all my toes, and then the pad goes down really far, and then the arch is up really high, and then the heel comes down. And I'll get a picture and show you a picture I took a while ago, and I'll show it to you. I have what they call ballerina feet. Um, and so it'll be up here on the screen somewhere. Now, I was going about my business and I was using, one of those exfoliators like Amope, I think. They're like little roly sanders for your calluses. I was using one on my left foot, which is like my good foot. And I noticed there's a little extra piece of skin on this callus, so I went to flick it off and I went, boop, and this entire conical shaped callus just popped right out of my foot. And I was like, well, that's odd. And I didn't think much of it. I was like, okay, that'll heal. It's fine. I finished what I was doing, took my shower, went about my life. The next day, I noticed that there was like like a blood blister, basically. There was blood under the callus. And so it's like dark colored. And under this circular callus under the pad of my foot on the same place on my left foot as the pressure ulcer is on my right foot. And I noticed that there's all this blood, as if there's like a big blood blister right underneath the callus where that was. And then there's another blister right below that, and that blister had popped, and that was just a regular blister, not a blood blister. And I noticed that where the corn, apparently it was corn, got removed, the hole is a little bigger, and that blood is all there apparently because of new disbursement of pressure, and the corn isn't there to keep things in line the way they were. So I keep an eye on it, and the next day I notice the hole is bigger. And I'm like, I need to see my podiatrist about this. This is a problem. And so I saw him yesterday, and he was looking at my feet and he was examining my right foot as to make sure nothing got worse or anything before surgery. And he looked at that, and then he looked at my left foot, and he was like, this is the exact same thing. It is not going to heal. He's like, we're going to have to do the exact same surgery on this foot. And he's like, in a perfect world, I'd do them both at the same I'd do them both at the same time, but you'd have to be total non-weight bearing for that, for both feet. You'd have to be off both feet completely. He's in a perfect world. But since I live alone, somebody has to take care of the cat. Somebody has to do laundry and dishes and prepare meals. So he's going to do the right foot, let that heal, and then later do the left foot. So now I've got two surgeries, the exact same surgery on both feet, all because a stupid corn wanted to pop right out. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Granted, he is a great doctor. The man runs marathons. He runs the Boston Marathon every year. He is a distance runner, obviously, if he runs the marathon. The man knows how to take care of feet. I just, I just can't catch a break with my feet. My feet are just so stupid. And I have to be off of my feet right now prior to surgery, the surgery date being next week, Friday, a week from today. I have to be off my feet so as not to make either one of these worse. And so that means no walking challenges, no walking on my walking pad at all, actually. Um, and then during healing, the several weeks that I'm taking to heal, you have to avoid walking and exercise and excess being on your feet. I'm going to be allowed a walking boot. So after we do the surgery on the right foot next Friday, I will have a walking boot on my right foot, but I'm still supposed to stay off of it as much as humanly possible. Just that will permit me to get up and do what I need to do to care for myself and Snickers. And then for the many weeks that is healing, then it heals. Then we'll do the left foot, and the left foot will heal for many weeks. And during all those many weeks that either or foot is healing, I have to stay off my feet as much as possible, which again means no walking on my walking pad, which means minimal exercise, bed exercise, hand exercise, arm exercise. So it's not like I can't exercise at all, but it does mean I can't walk, which is a super bummer. Listen, and he did add, way back in the beginning, I did a video explaining what's wrong with my feet and why I don't exercise. This was a year ago, so the things that are wrong with my feet have changed, except for one thing, and that is if this is your foot and this is your pinky toe and this is your big toe, imagine. Well, my pinky toe on my right foot is gone. It's been amputated. But the metatarsal that leads up to it, because there's no pinky toe to keep it in line, it just sort of floated off to the side. And there's a drawing in that video that I did. And so the metatarsal just pops off to the side, and it's extremely painful to walk on. It has a really big callus there on the side of my foot, and B, it rubs against my shoe because you've got this bone sticking out rubbing against your shoe. Well, he's going to do a thing, osteomyectomy or something like that. I've got to be saying what it is wrong. But it's ectomy is the one that means removal of something. Osteomyotomy, maybe. Anyway, he said it's where he goes in and he cuts the metatarsal bone and kind of readjusts it, and then it just floats upward into where it needs to be. You just break the metatarsal, cut it, break it, and it floats back into normal position. That's the theory. I don't know. I didn't go to med school. And Doc did mention on my left foot that because my Achilles tendon is so ridiculously crazy tight. Like I have drop foot because it's so tight. Um, he may want to do a Jones procedure on that, which I will go into if that time comes. But the short version is it means in sticking a couple screws in your big toe, cutting the tendon on the top of your foot, tying it off, and then cutting your tendon in your calf to release tendons and loosen things up is the theory. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So that's what's going on with my feet right now. And that's why I'm off my feet. Thank you for watching. If you got this far, I appreciate your patience. And you guys have a good day.